Alright, next topic, right, is I want to talk about the social media and mental health. In my experience, I would say social media has definitely affected my mental health negatively to like the extreme that of wanting something. Like when you see people living this glamorous life, sitting down with the beach, by the beach with the fake picture, when you know they're actually just sitting down outside the house in a beach chair, you know what I'm saying? It's mostly all lies. How I know it's all lies? Because I have done it too. Not the beach stuff, but actually, like, on my status saying that everything is okay and everything is great and on top of the world. What do you have to say about that, Brandon? Because you use social media for at least 4 years of your life.
Uh, I used to use Instagram and Facebook and all of these things, but I started to realize that it was affecting me negatively. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, all right, I needed to cut myself out from it because you would, yeah, I mean, you don't consciously do it, like compare yourself to others, but
Yeah,
subconsciously would you would kind
yeah,
of like see why their life going better than mine. And
exactly.
well, when you don't know what struggles they're going through, they just hiding all that behind whatever pictures they're posting up. Like they could just snap a picture
Exactly.
on the phone. They could just be the most miserable person in the world. So as I saw that, I was like, okay, I need to cut it off. The only social media I use is WhatsApp and YouTube. If YouTube is even
Yeah.
considered social media,
Same.
that's like basic because like WhatsApp for communication and then YouTube to learn things and to watch gameplay
I
and all
get
of that.
entertainment. YouTube is like my
Yeah,
main source
exactly.
of entertainment for you all
Exactly.
watching. Like even if I remember having Netflix and not even using it, so technically, I did give. No, I didn't give money to these big companies. My parents did, but how to say this? Yeah, I this social media thing I think is totally affecting our youth and like what people perceive is a normal
Definitely.
life.
Definitely. Especially not only social media, but I would say movies and
Music.
also uh, music
Yeah.
and also TV shows, like media in general. Because think about it, right? If you're growing up and you always seeing these like love romance stories on TV, but you're always seeing these tropes of like men don't know what the heck they're doing around the house, so woman is the one who always has the answers and all that. Then for most of your life, you're gonna grow up thinking that way, and sad to say, a lot of
Yeah.
people are growing that way. And when they reach into the real world and they think they know what's going on, they get a big shock.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like when I used to listen to like G-Eazy and Halsey, him and I, and you're like watching the video and everything's so perfect and you expect life to be that way and everything to synchronize. But that's not really how it is. Everybody does have the ups and downs and stuff like that. It's not like everything is cut dry. It will always have the high times. You won't, feel low. And I think music does literally. I think music does literally poison your mind because you would firstly like think that these behaviors are normal. Like some of the music, you would see that people like smoking and I don't mean like just casually. I mean like in a literal way of like having like a gang. Like who's Adam? I think it's 22 or something. Like them kind of. He's not a music artist, but he's like one of them people. Or I'm not gonna say that, but this whole perception with like rap music that it's so violent in like it's insane, I would say, and we just piping that into our ears. When I used to listen to that kind of garbage, it definitely used to affect my life. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
more aggressive and on edge and not even thinking situations like critical situations. True. I don't want to get into that right now because that's like a very sensitive big part of my life there, and the person who kind of correlate with that kind of don't want me to just treat her as just a story, but essentially that is basically everything in my life. Everything in the past is a story. I don't want to look back in the past. I want to keep looking forward and accomplishing new things. Right, Brandon? Let me encourage the youth to do something with their life.
Yep. See, and that was a lesson I learned really early with my mom. Uh, I was I was in school, primary school, and they were playing Black and Yellow, and I didn't know what the song was. So I come home and I was listening to the song and the lyrics and all that. And let's just say my mom found out, and she said something which I always stuck with me. Listen to the words of the song, right? Because what you and let's say also true. What you put in your mind it will also go into your heart. Okay, so if you constantly feel in your mind all these stupidness, right? Like money, sex, drugs, violent behaviors and smoking and all of this, then it's gonna affect you in some way. You're gonna go full out, obviously, but it's gonna affect you one way or the other, you know? And from then on I just every single time I listen to a song, I would always like try to listen to the words and try to understand the intent behind all of it. And if it was something that I found to be, good, then I would, listen to them. Um, I mean, you all might say this that he just make love songs, but I personally like some of his songs.
Ed
I really
Sheeran.
like Ed Sheeran songs. Yeah, I really like Ed Sheeran songs. You all might say he only makes happy songs, but honestly, he have some real good songs. A Fire Love and Supermarket Flowers, for example. Those two songs are for his grandmother and grandfather when they both were dying. A Fire Love was for his grandfather, and he finished to write that song on the day that his grandfather died. And then Supermarket Flowers was for his grandmother, and it was um, Three Eyes of his mother. And you can literally hear the emotion in his voice as he sing the song, right? Songs are songs initially came about through wanted to tell a story. If you look back at some of the older songs, they
Yeah,
told us,
for
right? But
sure.
nowadays all songs are is just the music and some kind of some kind of verse repeated,
Like
some kind of chorus repeated.
like in
But no,
Trinidad, all of
you
these
know,
let's call this local music like soca and chutney. Everything is just like legit like rum or something at one point.
mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't actually listen to that garbage. I know people actually
it's
like that music,
and
but
and like
not
yeah, and
for
like
me.
at least for me, it's like hypersexualized, and that is what a lot of the music in the world these days. I don't like that. I don't hypersexual. It just sugarness. Right? Songs with meaning and story is what I like.
You
For
remember?
example, one of Ed Sheeran's sorry to cut you off. One of Ed Sheeran's songs, "A Small Bomb," that was written for his friend who had a miscarriage.
Wow. I'm still not gonna look. I'm still not gonna watch him. But remember this song Galaxy was from like Standard Five or something, and what that was about. Don't sing
I
it.
I do remember. Honestly, I do remember.
All right, I'm not gonna describe it either. That is not for
Good.
our audience.
Good.
All right. I think we daily saturated that point right there, but I just want to nail it home. every time I listen to rap music, Eminem, them kind of stuff, it always alters my behavior. I'll tell you one thing I did, right? And I was like in a real bad mood after, like, let me say, a massive, catastrophic disassembly of a friendship. And I remember as soon as my father changed the oil in the X6, he was like, alright, go and take it for a drive. And I legit put this thing in like sport mode and mash out. Now, in Trinidad, most of the vehicles slow. So comparing saying that the X6 fast in Trinidad it is. In Germany it is not. You know, them have like the Porsche and the Lamborghini and G-Wagon, Mercedes, all them fancy things. But in Trinidad, it's kind of a, like, in my opinion, the fastest vehicle I ever drive. And in like a short distance, in a very rough road, I think I reached like 140 or something. And it's just like right after he had changed the oil. Now that could I hear that could damage the seals in the engine. At that time I didn't really care. I was pumping this garbage into my ears. Like, yeah, I could do anything I want. But thinking about that back then, it's not something I would do back again, because as like his pride and joy, he legit, the man worked for like his entire life, and then now buy like a somewhat of a fancy vehicle.